This is Afternoon Sports Slay with the Queen, Micah K. Now remember, I'm doing this for the love of the game. If you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like and that notification bell. Make sure you are sharing and commenting. Now, I told you, new Black Women Wednesdays is still going to be coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. New Basketball Wine Wednesdays as well. We're going to at least do a few segments, and I'm going to at least do 2 NFL segments before the Super Bowl. So just stay patient with me. The Queen is working on, just making sure to get more disciplined and organized so I can deliver the best possible content to you guys. Remember, can't stop, won't stop. It's definitely more in store. Now, who pays attention to my Twitter? That is at MKSportsLay. Make sure you check out that little information box that I always have up. Now, remember, I told you I was going to give you my top 5 at welterweight, all right? So this is for all my true loyal supporters. Make sure you wait to the end of this video. Once again, I will reveal my top 5 at welterweight. Now, also, it's not just for the supporters, it's for the haters too, because we know the haters are just secret fans, all right? Now, let's get into the juice. Here we go. You know how I do it. I give you my background information first, then I give you the Queen's analysis, then I give you my prediction, and then we got something real good at the end. We got the top 5 that I will reveal to you, okay? This is my eye test. This is how the Queen feels. You know what it is, all right? Let's go. Background information. The source is by The Zone by Alexander N. Here we go. Terence Crawford puts his WBO title on the line against the former 2-time world champion ShawnPorter. Terence Crawford is back in the ring as he finally gets the high-profile fight he has been searching for. His opponent is ShawnPorter, a 2-time former champion at 147 pounds with Crawford's WBO belt on the line. Crawford has not fought since a TKO against Britain's Kell Brook last November, while Porter has to go all the way back to August 2020 when he met Sebastian Formiga for the WBC silver belt, okay? Listen, this is a action-packed fight. This is one of them fights that could possibly deliver a lot of oohs and ahs, a lot of juice, all right? Has the potential to be a really special fight. Let's get into some things. Here we go. We're about to get into the meat and potatoes. We're about to get into that juice. Let's start off with ShawnPorter. Shawn Showtime Porter first. Here's the analysis. His last 2 fights. Okay, the last one was Sebastian, like I stated previously. He won that by unanimous decision. That's UD. Then the other fight he fought last previously was against Earl Spence Jr. He lost that fight. It went the distance, and most people were impressed with Porter, going against Spence, how he did, and I was impressed with Porter. Now, let's go. Porter has faced very elite, tough competition like Keith Thurman, like a Danny Garcia, Andre Berto, and an Adrian Broner, all right? So one thing we know for sure, Porter has a lot of experience in the ring. Yes, he does. Excuse me if I keep touching my hair. Listen, it can aggravate me sometimes. Listen, the Queen hair can get on my nerves. All right, and it's not weaved, it's real. Now, let's go. All right, so he has a lot of experience in the ring. Porter has seen so many different styles and tactics. Porter, right out the gate, comes out with high activity and relentless pressure. Now, Porter is definitely bouncy. The Queen loves nice bounce. So he has athleticism and can box on his toes. In the fight with Sebastian, Porter dominated and utilized the jab very well. Porter has a lot of quickness, can move in and out well, good footwork. Porter will attack the body and head in any way possible. Let me say that again. Porter will attack the body and head in any way possible. Nice 1 and 2 combos, right and left hooks, uppercuts, and overhand rights. Also like a looping right and left, Porter does at times. Plus, Porter has like a lunging, running, come forward type punch. I seen him do too. Porter is definitely a rough and tough fighter with a lot of willpower and heart. Porter will use very aggressive tactics to get the job done. He will lean on you, okay? He will use his head a certain way. Basically, he loves to smother his opponents and then adjust to take care of business. And excuse me if you hear a little noise or squeaking, or if I'm a little bit lower. Listen, y'all, it was a lot going on this week. The chair might be squeaking and it's a little late. So Here we go. Let's get into some more juice. Porter has a lot of versatility, more than what people think at times to me. Porter can break you down in multiple ways while pivoting, twisting, and turning. Porter can get in rhythm, muscle you, back you up, and use feints. He shows flashes of good quick countering ability too. Now, Porter can physically and mentally wear down his opponents. Porter has an excellent IQ. The key things that stand out to me is his high energy and his stamina, okay? Porter definitely has excellent stamina. I believe his trainer and dad, Kenny Porter, does an excellent job with keeping Porter in the best possible shape. Porter's ability to last and go the distance is great. The strength and conditioning is on point. Porter likes to impose his will on you and stalk you and hunt you like prey. Porter is a fighter that rises to the occasion. Yes, he is. Now, let's get into what I'm looking for from Porter. I want to see if Porter will cut off. I want to see if Porter. Excuse me, let me slow down. I want to see if Porter will cut off the ring when he needs to. Make sure he keeps his hands up, stays sharp on defense, listen to his corner. And just listen to his corner and implement the directions properly. Also, one of the biggest keys to success for Porter to me is to stay disciplined. That is very key. Porter must stay disciplined. Now, let's get into some slay questions. Will Porter be able to time Bud and catch him slipping? Will Porter be able to break the timing and rhythm of Crawford? Now, let's get into some slay key fight points. What Porter needs to do is possibly start fast, utilize the jab with those early rounds, and set the tone. Porter needs to try to take the jab away from Bud at times if possible. So Porter needs to, basically what I'm trying to say is be in control the tempo of the fight. Now let's transition over to Terence Bud Crawford. Here's my analysis. His last two fights, once again, I spoke on that a little bit in the background info. He fought Kell Brook, and then he also fought Mean Machine. Now, Crawford's last 5 fights have resulted in TKOs for Crawford. Now, while listening to certain commentators, it has been said Crawford doesn't like for people to say he's a slow starter. So with my analysis for now, I'm going to say more so at times, Bud eases his way into the fight more or less, I don't even want to say more or less, but let's say he eases into it, but, takes his time. But is a patient fighter. He likes to feel his opponent out, calculating information in his head to see what he will do next. He follows a precise strategic game plan. Crawford has excellent timing and accuracy. Bud knows when to land the right punch at the right time. In the fight against Kell Brook, in the fight against Kell Brook, Crawford came out in a right-handed stance to start the fight, all right? He typically goes to his usual southpaw stance, but in that fight, he didn't start that way. This could be in some ways to confuse his opponent. Now, we will see what stance Crawford will come out against Porter. Crawford has power in both hand slayers and slayettes, dangerous power. Crawford has finished guys in the orthodox and the southpaw stance. We still usually see him most in the southpaw stance, okay? Bud is a switch hitter. It's rare to knock out a guy with either hand. Bud has listen to this closely, Bud has equal skills from both stances and power. That's scary. That's definitely scary. That means he's a problem, all right? When I say problem, Bud is a problem. Now, the reason why Crawford is one of my favorite fighters to watch is because he is one of the best finishers in boxing. Yes, he will close the show properly, all right? Now, when Crawford smells blood, he will destroy you. Now, when you fight Bud, you have to prepare for multiple styles. Bud has trained, educated feet. Bud is very good with using his range, and he has the reach advantage in this fight. Bud is a rhythm type of fighter, crafty, all right, does a lot of angles, side to side movement. Bud will unleash very quick combinations on you in a matter of a split second, using a variety of different punches, jabs, hooks, and and uppercuts. Bud is a high IQ fighter. He makes the necessary adjustments throughout the fight, especially those championship rounds, like after the 6th round when you get into the real juice, the real juice of a fight. Bud will dictate pace and has excellent ring generalship. One of his greatest attributes to me is his confidence. Bud truly feels he's the best. Remember, it's all about mental strength, ladies and gentlemen. Bud holds himself accountable. He's passionate and dedicated to his craft. Bud is a monster in the ring. What I'm looking for from Bud, I'm looking for Bud to weaken Porter, break his body down to dominate the fight. We know Porter will be well prepared. Make sure his game plan is tight, especially fighting fire with fire. All right, both men are dogs. They love to battle. So getting into exchange with Porter, you want to make sure your defense is extremely sharp and your punch placement is right on target. Now, let's get into some more Slay questions. Will Crawford be able to take Porter's best skill sets away from him? Once again, will Crawford be able to take Porter's best skill sets away from him? Can Crawford deal with an aggressive and athletic fighter like Porter? Jose Benavidez Jr. was one of his toughest fights, okay? So it's some similarities, but Porter is more of an athletic fighter than Jose Benavidez Jr., okay? Now, let's get into some other things. Can Porter land that right hand like Mean Machine was able to do at certain times to capitalize on Bud's mistakes? That right hand is the southpaw killer, okay? Now, here we go. Here is prediction time. Where my slayers and slayettes, where my people that's been flowing with me all the way through this video, all right? Number 1, this is the first option. I have Bud winning. Bud will win and the fight will go the distance, okay? This is the second option. Remember, my first option is more so my true gut feeling, which I feel like how the fight is really going to go. But this is just different scenarios that I'm giving you that I feel like could possibly happen. Here's the second option. Bud will win by late stoppage through rounds 9 through 12 because of his ability to adjust on the fly so well. Crawford has a flip switch. He can be laser focused. Bud is what you call a problem solver type of boxer. What do I mean when I say Bud is a problem solver type of boxer? Bud breaks down his opponent step by step, round by round, solves his opponents out, okay? He answers the problem with a spectacular win. Now listen to this. Here is the third option. You ready? Okay. Upset alert. Remember, Porter took Spence's power too. Porter been in the ring with dangerous, powerful punchers, even like a Keith Thurman who is quick and powerful. People forget Keith was that guy, okay? We could see the best Porter ever. He will be ready for war, all right? He will not let up. So I have Porter winning by a close decision. That is my third option. To me, this is more of a 50-50 type of fight. This is more of a win-win type of fight for me too, because listen, I just feel like it's going to be a lot of juice. Now, if Crawford dominates Porter throughout the whole fight and dominates Porter throughout the whole fight and knocks Porter out, which we know it's hard to take Porter out, things can get extra spicy. It might get really extra spicy between Bud and Spence fans. And then some Spence fans might turn and go to the other side, especially if Bud dominates and takes Porter out. So we'll see. Now, and I believe in this fight too. They both could possibly knock each other down. You never know. It has the potential. This fight has the potential to be an all-time special type of fight. So let's see. Now, I'm done with the prediction. Here is my top 5. Listen to me closely. All right, here's my top 5 at welterweight. Listen to me closely. This list might change due to the fight on Saturday, depending on how well Crawford or ShawnPorter does. This is not my permanent list just yet. I'm not going to give you a full breakdown of why this is my top 5 in the order until a later date. All right, listen now. So be on the lookout. It will come. Now, here we go. I have Spence, number 1. Spence is number 1. Earl Spence Jr. I have 2, Terence Bud Crawford. Now these two are more like interchangeable depending on who you like more. You know, Bud and Spence fans is, you know, they go at war, but I have it more so it could possibly be interchangeable, 1A, 1B, but once again, Spence is number 1, Crawford is my number 2. I have Keith Thurman at number 3 because I feel like people forget Keith was really that guy, all right? So Keith is my number 3. Number 4 is ShawnPorter. Number 5 is Ugas for me. Then honorable mentions, I'm going to go with Jerron in his boots and Virgil Ortiz. Now, I chose Earl Spence at number 1 because I believe he's a chameleon. Now, I will explain this at a later time because some of you might be like, Queen, what you mean by Earl Spence being a chameleon? Now, we'll talk about that at a later date. Hopefully, Spence comes back fully healthy. Health is key. Now, also, if you follow my Twitter, you know how much I like Boots. But Boots isn't in my top 5 yet. There are some things we still have to see first from him. Like, can he take power? Can he adjust with the elites? All right? Boots is a rising star with scary attributes. A mixture of Spence and Crawford. I've said that on my Twitter. But it still levels to it, so we have to wait and see. Okay, so that's my top 5. You got my analysis, you got my prediction. All my slayers and slayettes, tell me how you feeling. I'm done. If you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, and definitely hit that notification bell. It's the Queen Micah K, and it's Afternoon Sports Slay.